Hello and welcome to Train Signal. You are watching the Next Steps lesson. If you're watching this lesson, I'm betting you've completed the entire course. Congratulations on reaching yet another milestone. So in this lesson, we'll look at everything that we covered throughout the course, then I'll provide some important follow-up tips, and we'll wrap up with what you can do next in terms of certification. So let's take a look at what we covered during the course. We tackled each of the Linux Plus certification objectives, starting with system architecture, which covered hardware settings that determine how Linux interacts with your system hardware, and we also talked about booting the system, the actual boot sequence, and finished up with an overview of run levels. Next, we moved to Linux installation and package management, where we talked about the hard disk layout, boot managers, and package management for both Debian and Red Hat-based distributions. Again, in the Debian camp, we have Ubuntu, and in Red Hat, Fedora. Then we began our exploration of the Linux command line and the Vi text editor with lessons focusing on GNU and Unix commands. You'll find that there are many debates raging in the Linux community. Things like the best distribution, the best internet browser, and where Vi is concerned, there are many who swear by it, but the argument about the best text editor still rages on. We also learned about devices and the Linux file system. We talked about partitions, permissions, quotas, and links. The shells, scripting, and data management segments showed us how to use and customize the shell. Also how to write scripts, and this is a task that Linux administrators will do quite often. We also covered the basics of database management. In user interfaces and desktops, we learned how to install and configure X11, set up a display manager, and also talked about accessibility options for people with physical disabilities. With administrative tasks, I showed you how to manage user and group accounts, how to schedule jobs using Cron and its associated tools, and also for you administrators with an international user base, how to modify and configure time location settings. Cron is another one of those tools that you'll find yourself turning to on a regular basis. I personally use it for backups. Topics under Essential System Services included how to maintain the system time, logging, as well as email and printing basics. The Network Fundamentals subject matter focused on Internet protocols, network configuration and troubleshooting, and DNS settings. And finally, we learned about host and network security administration and encryption. So you're probably wondering what you should do next. One thing that I recommend is to watch the Preparing for Your Linux Plus certification exam lessons if you haven't already done so. And I do that for both halves of the course. And we also include 2 Transcender lessons. The Transcender practice exams help you prepare for the exam by simulating the actual environment. The first lesson will tell you how to use the voucher, and the second will give you instructions for how to use the actual Transcender product. I can't stress enough how important a resource this is if you're planning to pursue certification. Also, don't forget that this course is yours. Use it as a reference anytime you run into a problem or whenever you need a refresher. The lessons are clearly organized so that if you want to go back to a specific topic, you can. Also, I've included a link to the CompTIA website, and specifically the link to the Linux Plus certification page. As I've mentioned previously, the objectives can change without notice, so be sure to check the website periodically for any updates. After passing both exams, LX0101 and LX0102, you will be Linux Plus certified. Congratulations! Having gone through this harrowing process myself, I know exactly what you've been through. So take a moment and relish in that victory. And there's a couple side benefits to your new certification as well. With the new 2010 objectives, CompTIA has partnered with the Linux Professional Institute so that obtaining your Linux Plus certification automatically qualifies you for the LPIC-1 credential. And that's not it. Through LPI's relationship with Novell, you also earn the Novell Certified Linux Administrator Certification, or the CLA. How's that for bang for your buck? Beyond the Linux certification, there are advanced and senior level certifications offered by LPI. You have the LPI-2, or the Advanced Level Linux Professional, and LPI-C3, which is the Senior Level Linux Professional. For the most up-to-date objectives, visit their website at www.lpi.org/eng/certification/the_LPIC_program. And there are also other certifications from Novell. You have the Novell Certified Linux Desktop Administrator, and you have the Novell Certified Linux Engineer. You can also visit their website for the latest exam information at www.novell.com/training/certinfo. So these are some potential next steps. With that, I want to tell you that it's been my absolute pleasure to go through this material with you. I'm truly a fan of Linux and enjoy the opportunity to share my own experiences whenever I can. So thanks for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you in another course.